When we truly listen, when we immerse ourselves in the words, emotions, and perspectives of others, we uncover insights that illuminate not only their world, but ours as well. By doing so, we communicate respect, empathy, and a genuine desire to learn, laying the foundation for relationships rooted in trust and mutual understanding. Yet, the impulse to interrupt or dominate conversations often arises from an underlying need to assert control or validate our own worth. True confidence, however, doesn't silence others. It embraces humility, recognizing the strength in listening and valuing differing viewpoints. When we acknowledge that we don't hold all the answers, we open ourselves to a universe of new ideas, knowledge, and experiences. In professional settings, this principle becomes even more vital. A leader who consistently interrupts their team may initially project authority, but over time, such behavior breeds frustration, disengagement, and stifled creativity. Conversely, a leader who listens cultivates an atmosphere where innovation, initiative, and collaboration flourish. Effective leadership hinges on presence, on actively hearing your team, understanding their challenges, and offering meaningful support. So how do we sharpen our listening skills? It begins with intentionality. Before entering a conversation, remind yourself of the inherent value in what the other person has to say. Resist the urge to mentally rehearse your response while they're speaking. Instead, focus entirely on comprehending their perspective. Ask thoughtful questions, reflect on their words, and engage deeply. These small yet transformative practices can elevate your interactions, making them more productive and enriching for everyone involved. The Stoics understood the profound power of silence, not as emptiness, but as a space for attentive engagement. In moments of quiet, we create room for others to express themselves fully, deepening our understanding of their thoughts and feelings. This practice also connects us with our inner wisdom, fostering self-awareness and clarity. Empathy, in its most authentic form, bridges divides and nurtures relationships. It is the quiet strength that enables us to transcend differences, forging bonds of compassion and shared humanity. Without empathy, we struggle to relate, connect, and grow together. Stoic philosophy champions empathy because it equips us to navigate life's complexities with fairness, kindness, and insight. Consider a manager who overlooks the mounting stress his team endures during a high-pressure deadline. His lack of empathy leads to burnout, plummeting morale, and diminished productivity. On the other hand, a leader who empathizes, understanding and addressing the emotional needs of their team, fosters a culture of support, resilience, and excellence. Empathy isn't merely about being kind, it's about being effective. It inspires loyalty, encourages cooperation, and builds enduring connections. To nurture empathy, start by stepping into someone else's shoes. Ask yourself, what might this person be feeling? What challenges are they facing? These reflective questions deepen your understanding of others and guide you to respond with patience and compassion. Additionally, by recalling your own experiences, recognizing that you too have faced struggles, joys, and disappointments, you can forge a stronger emotional connection with those around you. This shared understanding strengthens bonds and fosters more compassionate interactions. Ultimately, listening and empathy stand among the most potent tools for personal growth and meaningful connection. When we genuinely listen and remain open to diverse perspectives, we enhance both our relationships and our individual development. Stoicism teaches us that the path to wisdom isn't about achieving perfection. It's about remaining open, reflective, and committed to continual improvement. Turning fear into growth. The Stoic way. Fear and failure are universal experiences, inevitable companions on the journey of life. They can feel like anchors, tethering us to comfort zones and discouraging exploration. But here lies the pivotal truth. Our response to these forces defines the trajectory of our lives. The fear of failure looms large, casting shadows of doubt and hesitation. Yet, Stoicism offers a guiding light, urging us to reframe fear not as a barrier, but as an opportunity, a catalyst for growth. Every challenge you face doesn't merely forge greater strength within you. It also sharpens your wisdom. So, the next time you find yourself on the brink of significant change, pause for a moment. take a deep breath and remind yourself that this is not just another hurdle. It's an opportunity to flex the muscles of resilience you've been building all along. Reflect on past moments when adaptation was necessary, those times when life demanded more from you than you thought possible, and consider how those experiences have sculpted who you are today. As the Stoics wisely observed, every twist and turn in life presents a chance to reaffirm what matters most to you, test your adaptability, and grow in ways that might surprise even yourself. There's a persistent myth out there suggesting that seeking help is a sign of weakness, that needing assistance somehow undermines your competence or independence. But let's dismantle this misconception once and for all. Nothing could be further from the truth. In reality, recognizing when and how to ask for help is one of the clearest indicators of both strength and wisdom. It demonstrates self-awareness, an understanding of your limits, and acknowledges that collaboration often yields outcomes far superior to going it alone. Think back to the last time you reached out for support. Perhaps you were navigating unfamiliar territory and needed guidance, or maybe you sought counsel during a particularly daunting project. Chances are hesitation crept in at first. The fear of judgment can do that. Yet, after taking the leap, didn't you feel lighter? Didn't asking for help actually amplify your capabilities rather than diminish them? The Stoics understood this principle profoundly. While they championed self-reliance, they equally valued the power of community. True wisdom, they believed, isn't confined to individual insight. It flows from the shared knowledge and collective experience of those around us. Seneca, one of history's greatest Stoic thinkers, wrote extensively about the mutual benefits of helping others. He argued that through acts of giving and receiving support, we not only expand our own understanding, but also fortify the bonds that hold our communities together. Asking for help requires humility, a willingness to admit that you don't possess all the answers, and courage to embrace vulnerability. And here's the liberating truth. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's a bridge to deeper connection. When you extend a hand for assistance, you're offering someone else the chance to contribute their expertise and shine. This exchange fosters better solutions, cultivates trust, and strengthens the fabric of teamwork. Through this dynamic interplay of giving and receiving, relationships deepen, networks become more resilient, and success becomes a shared endeavor. No one achieves greatness in isolation. Reaching out isn't surrender, it's strategy. It's about harnessing the collective strength available to you to navigate challenges with greater efficiency and effectiveness. The Stoics would remind us that human beings are inherently interconnected, and our interactions with others serve as some of our most potent sources of empowerment. So the next time you confront adversity, whether it's personal struggles or professional roadblocks, remember this: you don't have to face it alone. Whether you're pushing through difficulties independently or humbly requesting assistance, true strength lies in embracing both your individual capabilities and the collective wisdom surrounding you. After all, growth isn't measured solely by victories. It's defined by how gracefully and wisely you rise after setbacks. If you can move past the sting of failure and analyze what went awry, you're not just experiencing a setback, you're gaining wisdom. Every mistake is a lesson, a blueprint for refining your methods and crafting more effective strategies. The Stoics, especially Epictetus, championed this perspective. They believed that every external event, whether favorable or unfavorable, carries the potential to fortify our character. As Epictetus wisely stated, it's not what happens to you, but how you respond that defines your path. This philosophy invites us to reframe failures not as catastrophes, but as invaluable feedback. By embracing setbacks as opportunities for growth, we cultivate resilience, a cornerstone of Stoic thought. Resilience isn't about dismissing pain or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about confronting it head-on, extracting lessons, and channeling those insights into progress. When you navigate through challenges, you emerge stronger, better prepared to tackle future obstacles with renewed strength. Moreover, learning from failure fosters adaptability, an indispensable skill in an ever-evolving world. Each misstep compels you to view situations from fresh perspectives, sparking creativity, innovation, and sharper problem-solving abilities. This adaptability can distinguish you in both personal and professional arenas. There's also a profound humility that arises from this process. Acknowledging your mistakes requires admitting that you don't have all the answers and that growth is ongoing. This humility isn't a flaw. It's a source of strength that leads to deeper wisdom and more meaningful connections with others. So the next time you encounter a setback, pause and reflect on the lessons it offers. Instead of berating yourself, approach the situation with curiosity. What does this experience reveal about your strengths, weaknesses, or approach? How can it guide you toward improvement next time? This reflective practice not only builds resilience, but also deepens your understanding of life's intricacies, empowering you to grow stronger and wiser over time. In a world that constantly demands more, knowing when to say no becomes a vital skill. Setting boundaries isn't about exclusion. It's about creating space to honor your values and priorities. The Stoics understood the importance of discerning what lies within our control and what doesn't. By establishing boundaries, we reclaim authority over our time, energy, and emotional well-being. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, advised, "Be lenient with others and rigorous with yourself." This teaches us to extend grace to others while maintaining discipline in our own decisions. Recall the last time you agreed to something against your better judgment. Perhaps it left you feeling drained or resentful, a clear sign that your boundaries were compromised. When you begin setting and enforcing limits, you might worry about disappointing others, but those who truly care will respect your choices. Boundaries aren't selfish. They're acts of self-respect. They affirm that your needs are valid and deserving of attention. By defining your limits, you communicate how you wish to be treated, fostering healthier and more respectful relationships in all areas of life. Finally, there are days when everything seems to go wrong, when life feels like an unrelenting tide pulling you under. In such moments, it's tempting to turn inward and criticize yourself for every perceived flaw. But instead of being harsh, what if you met yourself with kindness and compassion? Practicing self-compassion doesn't mean excusing mistakes or shirking responsibility. It means treating yourself with the same empathy you'd offer a friend facing similar struggles. The Stoics emphasized mastery over our reactions and attitudes. When you practice self-compassion, you align with this timeless principle, choosing growth over guilt and understanding over judgment. Embracing your imperfections while nurturing personal growth in a balanced, healthy way is the cornerstone of resilience and self-awareness. When setbacks arise, and they inevitably will, resist the urge to criticize yourself harshly. Instead, pause, take a step back, and reflect deeply. Ask yourself, what would I say to a close friend facing this same situation? Shifting toward a more compassionate mindset not only strengthens your ability to bounce back from adversity, but also enriches your understanding of life's intricate challenges, paving the way for a brighter, more productive future. Adopting a forgiving and positive perception of yourself isn't merely an act of self-care. It's about truly honoring and celebrating the progress you've made, no matter how small it may seem. Did you handle a tough conversation with grace? Did you lend support to a colleague overwhelmed by their workload? These moments are far from insignificant. They are triumphs worth acknowledging. Recognizing these small victories builds confidence, fosters resilience, and fortifies your mental framework. Consider Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor-philosopher whose writings in Meditations underscored the importance of self-reflection and integrity. He believed that living harmoniously with our rational nature meant managing emotions and actions thoughtfully, a philosophy where compassion meets discipline. By cultivating kindness toward yourself, you enhance your well-being and create a foundation for healthier relationships with others. Those who practice self-compassion often find themselves better equipped to empathize with those around them, fostering deeper connections, at work, at home, or within friendships. Life, however, rarely follows a predictable script. Just when you think you've mastered one chapter, an unexpected twist demands you pivot quickly. A sudden job change, an unplanned relocation, or any major shift requiring adaptability. How you respond during these times reveals much about your inner strength. Adaptability isn't just a skill, it's a testament to resilience. The Stoics, including Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, taught that while we cannot control external events, we hold power over our reactions. True peace stems not from circumstances themselves, but from how we navigate them. Imagine being thrust into a role that requires skills you haven't fully honed. Your first instinct might be panic or doubt. But true adaptability lies not in instant mastery, but in approaching the challenge with curiosity and a willingness to grow. You leverage what you already know as a foundation, viewing each new demand as an opportunity to expand your abilities. Rather than seeing change as an obstacle, you begin to embrace it as a catalyst for evolution, a mindset championed by the Stoics. Life's unpredictability offers countless chances to practice virtues like courage, wisdom, and self-restraint. Yet, adapting doesn't mean suppressing your feelings about change. It means acknowledging them, processing them, and channeling them into fuel for forward motion. Reflection sits at the heart of Stoic philosophy. By examining your responses to various situations, you gain insight into areas for improvement and prepare yourself to face future challenges with greater clarity. So, when life throws its inevitable curveballs, steady yourself. Ground your thoughts in your principles, then proceed with flexibility and openness. See change not as a detour, but as an invitation to evolve. Each time you successfully adapt, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. Forgiveness, too, plays a pivotal role in emotional health and personal growth. Holding on to grudges is akin to carrying a backpack filled with stones. It weighs you down, sapping your energy and clouding your path forward. Forgiving someone might feel counterintuitive, even undeserved, yet it remains one of the most liberating choices you can make. It unburdens your spirit, freeing you to move through life with greater ease and less resentment. In forgiving others, you ultimately gift yourself the freedom to heal and thrive. The Stoics grasped this truth with profound clarity. They held that emotions like anger and resentment inflict far greater harm on us than on those who may have wronged us. Epictetus, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, wisely observed that it is not the events themselves that shape our experience, but rather how we choose to respond to them. Forgiveness, in this light, isn't about excusing harmful actions or erasing the pain they caused. It's about releasing the emotional burden those actions carry and refusing to let someone else's behavior dictate your inner peace. In fact, forgiveness stands as one of the most transformative tools for personal growth. By forgiving, you open the door to deeper understanding and compassion for others, and just as importantly, for yourself. Mistakes are universal. They need not define us. Instead, they can become opportunities to learn resilience, empathy, and the art of letting go. Forgiveness has the power to mend relationships by dissolving the resentment that clouds connection, paving the way for more authentic and positive bonds. From a Stoic perspective, forgiveness is essential for living harmoniously within society because humans are inherently social creatures. Marcus Aurelius, another great Stoic thinker, urged us to seek the good in people and guide their growth when they stumble. He encouraged responding with patience and understanding, even in the face of error, instead of reacting with sarcasm or spite. True strength, according to the Stoics, lies not in dominance or aggression, but in quiet resilience, gentle forgiveness, and compassionate boundaries. It's about cultivating an enduring calm amidst life's storms. This path is not merely about facing external challenges, it's also about committing to the internal work of becoming kinder, wiser, and more empathetic toward yourself and others. When you embrace adaptation, practice forgiveness, and engage in reflection, you're not just navigating difficulties with grace, you're constructing a life rooted in virtue and resilience. Each step forward contributes to your transformation into someone capable of meeting life's trials with equanimity while fostering meaningful connections along the way. Though demanding, this journey promises profound change, a richer, more fulfilling existence shaped by wisdom, compassion, and unwavering strength.